Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of Who the Hell Knows What Eric's Doing. So today I'm going to make my own table crosscut sled. Table saw crosscut sled. Now, I'm making out of scrap wood, obviously. I mean, let's not get crazy here. So I've got this really thick stuff. It's like an inch thick plywood that I use for the Millennium Falcon door. And I happen to have enough of it left over to make a decent crosscut table saw sled. So watching other people do it, it seems pretty simple. First of all, I got these on Temu.com or the Temu app. These are the miter bars that slide into the table saw. Now you're thinking to yourself, oh, the Chinese, have all your information, whatever. But these are actually pretty good quality. I'll say they're pretty good quality, and they're pretty expensive, and they slide really nice. They do a good job. So, just whatever, do it, help the demise of society. It's good stuff. All right, so now knowing that those slide in there, and then I happen to have this T-Track slide bar with the dual thing and screws. And I got this at Rockler in the discard shelf, so I got a deal on it. And so this will go on top of my board. Now I'm going to cut it using something that cuts metal. And for starters, what we're going to do is we're going to use tape, double-sided tape, that you put in a bin somewhere in your shop, and then you had to spend 15 minutes looking for it. So, strap yourself in for a fun little journey here, and watch me make a table sled. And I'm going to show you how I make it so that the cut and the backing board are exactly 90 degrees. Because apparently, not that anything in my shop cuts straight, true, or whatever, but apparently a crosscut sled that has a true 90-degree cut is imperative. So we'll see if we can do it. All right. So I'm using this double-sided tape. Its stuff is like really awesome. I'm not going to dig through my Amazon cart to get you a link or anything, but it's really thick, and once you mush it down, man, that stuff is strong. I mean, it's like really strong stuff. Anyway, I'm just using double-sided gooey tape, and I just leave it on. Okay, so here's the cool thing. I'm going to use this little bit right here. It's a centering one. Let's drill into it in the hole in the center. Then I got these 3/4 inch drywall screws. I'm going to put it right there. Now, you're wondering, where is that double-sided tape? I'm leaving it in there. Why? Because there's no harm, no foul, and it might give me some extra vibration sensation. So step one is I'm going to put this one on. I'm going to glue it so that it holds in place. Now this one does not need to be perfectly miter square, this, that, everything else, but we want to do a pretty good job. So what we're going to do is put it on here. Just a little bit of squeeze out there. Okay, let this dry overnight or whatever. So then once this is set, we're going to put the screws in, countersink some screws in, put them on the bottom side, and then we will then do a run through so that we can get the blade set up to put on this back side, and we're going to set the back side up so that it's perfectly 90 degrees perpendicular. All right, so now that we have this piece glued onto our base piece, now we can go ahead and drill our holes and then put in our screws. Now again, this piece is really just a structural piece to make sure that your rest of your board, because it's going to have a cut going all the way through it, you don't want just one piece holding together, you want it on both sides. So this can actually be cut down and chamfer down a little, whatever, especially since this is nice and thick stuff. So let's go ahead and put the screws in, and then we're going to, look at that, nice and easy. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's do it. All right, so here we are. I'm using this bit that it drills it. It's like a tapered bit, and then you drill it, and it also has a the little thing to make it countersunk. That's pretty handy, let me tell you. And then also notice this impressive measuring method I use. Look at that, once there, once there. Oh, awesome. Okay, so for the next step, it is important in our order of operations that we actually cut the slot first before we put on our other piece. And the reason is because we need this slot in here in order to line that one up specifically perpendicular. So let's go ahead and cut the slot in, and then we'll put that on, and I'm going to show you a perpendicular, perfect, the whole 9 yards. So for the first cut, I'm just going to cut right up to what this wood does. Once we have assembled, do the full cut. All right. Okay, I left out just a little bit here. Slide it back right here. Blade all the way up. It's good. Go ahead and take these off. So these are a couple of right angle brackets. Personally, I'd suggest using something that's actually milled, store-bought, whatever. But these I printed out on my 3D printer, and for the most part, it works really well. I just, that's that. So if we put these on here like that, and then we use our clamps. Okay, for starters, we're going to put on this clamp that just kind of clamps these right to the blade. Okay. By the way, sorry for the gloomy look out here. This is a thunderstorm right now in Southern California. This is what it looks like for having a thunderstorm. So, Okay, one thing came to my mind is this is going to be this track that holds this down, but not that I have a problem with clamps going here, but I do. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lower this down. I'm going to cut this to be a little bit shorter. Still, so it has plenty of blade clearance, whatever. I know some people do the top bar down, but I want this on there. So this has to be all the same height. So I'm just going to cut this down, probably about take an inch, inch and a half off, and then we'll put it back together. Okay, just to make sure I don't have to cut twice and measure once. So what I did is I put the blade fully extended, and then I kind of measured exactly like where's the height going to be. So now I know that as I lay it down, I can go here, adjust the old fence to exactly where the height's going to be. And I already made a mark over here because I did this first. So it's going to be about right there. So when I check it, I'll check it so you guys can see it. It looks like we got about 3/4 of an inch clearance there. So that should help with the clamp over. Okay, moment of truth almost. No, that's not the moment of truth. I have these clamps securely fastened to this so that these get securely fastened to that, and whatever this angle is I'm attaching it to here should be 90-degree perpendicular. Let's see what happens. It's not too bad. Okay, well, this glue's setting up, and we go cut that miter bar, or cut the T-track bar off. Give this some time to set up before we put the screws in from the bottom. And then we'll do our final cut, and then we'll see if it was correct or not. Okay, so now that the glue is dry on here, let it dry overnight. So now I'm going to go ahead and put some screws in there to just give it a little extra strength. Switch out Mr. Bit from Mr. Bit. Got 4 gold-plated screws. I don't think they're really gold-plated. This is the miter bar I have. it has this like kind of, you know, a little T section here and it's double bar. I got it because it was like on super steel day, real cheap at a Rockler in the back somewhere. So anyway, but the question is, do you put it on the back here like this? Put it on like this? Or, and this is what I really should have done, was cut a groove in here so it would fit right in the middle. Leave your opinion in the comments if you think which way it should go. Okay, for whatever reason, I'm going to put it on the back of the... Okay, so I saw this on someone else's build, and what they did is they used just a block of wood on the back where the blade comes out. It's kind of like a, you know, don't put your thumbs here thing. So I'm just using a piece of scrap from a piece of scrap. I'm just going to go ahead and put that right on the back and just glue it on. Okay, just for shits and giggles, I'm going to give this thing a good sanding. I mean, it's not bad, but I'm just going to go and sand it and give it a shellacking just so we get some extra smooth glide. Okay, so before I shellac the bottom, it's gliding pretty nice. I'm going to do the cut first, and then I'll just do let's do the cut to see how square we are. See if this is a good build or not. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see how we did here. With this one, looks pretty good. There's a little gap in there, like a really small gap. There's a really small gap in there. This one, that's pretty solid. With the Rockler, this thing, let's go do it like this. Again, it's got just a play. And lastly, with the T-square, I mean, it's pretty close, but it's almost as if the blade itself didn't make the most perfectly straight cut. But it is off by about 1/1000th of an inch or so. Figure this out. So after double checking everything, it really seems as though this is about as close as I'm going to get. It really seems like now I'm using, you know, a DeWalt contractor's job site saw, so it's not meant for fine woodworking, but double checking everything, it's about as close as I think I'm ever going to get. I mean, there's no real adjustment going on here. You know, so just knowing that going forward in my woodworking projects, that's really what I just need to know. But as far as I can tell, for being free, it's not bad. Alrighty, well, I hope you enjoyed this quick little build of building my own CrossCut Sled saw sled. It works great, and I think the real thing that helped me out a lot in doing this is using those miter bars that slide into these tracks. I know other people made them from, you know, just from scrap wood and whatever and put it in there. But those things actually have the extra, the little thing in there to keep it from popping out or anything like that. So you can't really just, you know, you can't pull it out. And I think that's really a good critical design idea. And they're dirt cheap. I mean, they're really cheap on Temu. So, but other than that, all you gotta do is have a project where I need to do some CrossCut sleds stuff. Yay!